Talk a little bit about right reasons, right motivations versus wrong motivations for seeking help in addiction.
Okay. Well, I think of a lot of times, wrong, let's start with the wrong motivations.
Yeah,
I mean,
wrong's
the
always
wrong,
easier for me to start with.
yeah, right, exactly. Me too. Me too. I'm a professional in that. Just ask my wife. So the wrong motivations, though, are really like a lot of times, especially to come to, let's just talk about our world in the biblical world uh, of addiction. Our approach to this. If people are coming here and they're, to the refuge and they're wanting to, they just want, they don't want to be homeless. Say that, okay? They want to come to the refuge just because they 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 burn bridges with their family and their friends, and they just have no other place to go. So if that's where they're at when they come here, if that's the motive, is I'm just going to come here because I have nowhere else to go. That motive isn't going to get you very far. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But we have had that. Or if the motive is I'm going to do it for my wife, I'm going to do it for my kids. I'm gonna do it. If that's what their motive is, that's going to be pretty difficult too. Or if the motive is I'm just going to go here to dry out. I'm going to go to the refuge just to dry out, or I'm going to go to Damascus House or whatever program we're talking about. If I'm going just to get sober, that's not going to be enough either. So those are just a few. Can you think of some more before I move to the good motives?
I'm glad you threw it back to me because I think you are right on. Those are good secondary reasons to go to get help, but they're not
Hmm.
the primary, which you're going to get to in a second. Those are so we're not saying, oh, these are terrible reasons. I mean,
Right.
these are good secondary reasons, but they're
Yes.
not going to last. People are going to quit because they don't have yet the right motive. That's what we're talking about here. And like the other thing I think about is when you're motivated by fear. Fear's a good initial motivator. It gets people to kind of, oh, I got to do something. I gotta, and they
Right.
operate in fear and they take some steps and they make some changes. But the better motivator is love. Love
Mm.
always supersedes fear as a primary motivator, something to move us along and move us along permanently. So that's a lead into what I think you're going to say here about the right reasons to seek help.
Yeah. Well, the right reason is I have made a let's just I've made a train wreck of things. I've tried it my way. I've tried to get clean and sober. I've tried to clean up my life. I've done worked all these steps, worked this program, did this thing, and it didn't work. And I did it for all the wrong reasons. I did it for my family, and all these things. But now I have realized that I I got to submit to God's plan. I want to do it God's way. I've tried every other option, and I'm just surrendered. I'm surrendering my life to Him. Whether that's for the first time or really just sometimes people just get sideways and they need to come back to the Lord. We've had we it's every guy is different that comes through our doors, but it's getting to that place where I'm ready and willing to do whatever it takes, and I'm going to be teachable. I'm going to be humble, and I'm just saying, Lord, help me. Lord, lead me. Lord, guide me. Lord, direct me. That's what we want to see happen here. We want to see people come and they're humble and they're teachable and they're ready to do. That's when real change happens. And I'm not going to say that every guy stays that way the whole time they're here, because we've had people come humble and broken, and then they got comfortable later and started toasting and things. They forgot. So it's a process, and it looks. But I want to give one. I'm just going to give an example of one of our guys, which Garrett. You met Garrett, our house manager, our current house manager. I think of Garrett, and he is the guy that 3 or 4 years ago, he came to us, and he wanted help, but he wanted help on his terms, and that was revealed in many different ways when we would push back against him when he was trying to do things his own way, and we would call him out, and he would just run off. But when he came this last time, at the beginning of last year, to this place, to the refuge, he came and he said, "Well, CJ, Ben, I've finally reached that place where I did it my way and it didn't work, and I'm here to just do whatever you guys tell me." and that's what I mean. He said that, and he was very serious, and he stuck to that. Now, I'm not going to tell you he was perfect every step of the way, and we didn't have to fight through things, but he came with that mindset of, I've tried it my way. I'm going to submit to God's plan for me, and as long as you guys aren't asking me to sin, I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna take heed to your counsel, and it served him so well, and he's continuing to do that in the church, and it's serving him really well. It's been a real blessing to watch God radically transform his life. But that was a game changer, is that he was just fully surrendered and submissive to God's plan for his life.